WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday at 4 o'clock, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Community Bell Show on this wonderful, warm Monday afternoon. Aren't we happy that it's warm? I don't know about you, but I like warm weather. And so I'm just a happy camper. I'm glad that we have it. I hope it stays a long time and I'll be continue to be a happy camper. Well, we are glad to have you with us this afternoon. We've got a special guest that I'm going to introduce to you in just a moment. But first of all, let me tell you about the 69th annual NAACP Fight for Freedom Fund dinner that was held yesterday right here in Detroit. And many of you may not know that the dinner is the largest sit-down dinner in the world. Yes, I said it, the largest sit-down dinner in the world. And so it was a wonderful, wonderful event on yesterday at Huntington Place. And we were fortunate enough to have the President of the United States, the Honorable Joseph Biden, as our speaker. President Biden did a great job. We had a wonderful reception for him. It was really a great, great afternoon in Detroit to see so many people in downtown Detroit at the dinner, faces you hadn't seen in a while. But it was a really, really great afternoon to welcome the President of the United States to Detroit for the annual NAACP Fight for Freedom Fun Dinner. And it isn't just a sit down, eat dinner, and hear somebody speak. It's important to know that the NAACP fights always for equal rights for everybody, for everybody. And so we were pleased to be there, and I had the pleasure of being escorted by my oldest grandson, Mr. Grant James Johnson, who is our guest today. Grant James is a senior at Cass Technical High School, and I'm just pleased to have him as our guest. Hello, Grant, and welcome to the Community Bell Show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad you could come. So glad you could come. So, Grant's going to talk a little bit about his school experience. Excuse me. Has spent 4 years at Cass Technical High School. Tell us a little bit about those 4 years, Grant. How was it when you started, and how is it as you were ending your time at Cass Tech?
I've had a real interesting 4 years at Cass Tech. With the pandemic happening my freshman year, or my eighth grade year going into my freshman year, I started high school out virtual, so I didn't really have that time to really meet new kids my freshman year. But I was able to maximize my opportunities. I playing soccer my freshman year, which allowed me to meet a lot of kids that way. But freshman year was virtual, so was doing all my classes and stuff in my bedroom at home.
That had to be interesting, doing classes from bedroom for your bedroom. I can't even imagine that. And so when you think of all of the young people who are graduating now, didn't really have a freshman year in high school. They had to figure it out in the 10th grade, how to socialize with young people in the 10th grade instead of doing it what most of us did in the ninth grade. And so that had to be quite interesting. So you did homework and classes at home in your bedroom.
Yes, ma'am.
That had to be and the teachers, how were they for that first year?
Virtual freshman year, they were pretty decent at least teaching online, because since eighth grade had ended early because of COVID, teachers
Mhm.
had got time to get acclimated to Zoom and online software and things like that. So by the time my freshman year came, they were at least used to the software and everything.
Okay, okay, very good, very good. And you talked about playing soccer. When did you start playing soccer?
About 4 years old, I started playing at North Rosedale Park on Detroit's west side, and I've been playing ever since.
How did you decide to play soccer? That just isn't one of those sports that typically kids, at least in the U.S., play.
Well, my parents signed me up for it when I was 4.
It wasn't your decision; it was your parents' decision.
Yeah, at first it wasn't mine, and I was just playing in the fall every year because my friends played and I was good at it. And I was also playing baseball at the time. And as I got older, my dad had me choose between which I was going to take serious, between soccer or baseball. And due to my frame and how I'm built, I felt I had better opportunities playing soccer, so I stuck with soccer.
Oh, okay, very good. So, how does your frame have? What does that have to do with playing soccer?
Well, I'm taller and I'm skinnier. I'm skinny and I can run.
Okay.
So because of that, it's easier to guard people when I play soccer. And I guess you could say I'm lanky. So with my length, I can guard people easier. I can steal the ball a little bit easier. So that's why I chose soccer.
Okay, very good, very good. Talk about your experience with Boy Scouts, because I know were a Boy Scout too.
Well, I've been in the scouting program since first grade. So did that at my old school, Bates Academy on the west side as well. And doing the scouting program at Cub Scouts, I met a lot of people, did a lot of things, taught me a lot of good life lessons that I would need to going on to my high school and middle school times. So then when I joined Boy Scouts, I was able to continue with those lessons. And at that point, my dad became my scoutmaster. And basically, my friend's dad, who was not basically an uncle to me, he was an assistant scoutmaster. And all my friends from Cub Scouts, we all transitioned over to Boy Scouts. And right now, I'm working on my Eagle Scout rank, which I shall be obtaining in a few weeks.
Wow, Eagle Scout. That is something that very few young men attain. What is it? 2% of scouts actually make it to Eagle Scout. That is quite an accomplishment. And that'll look real good on your resume too. That'll look, but that is quite an accomplishment. You did some interesting things in your scouting career. You and your dad went to New Mexico, was it?
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about that trip to New Mexico and what you guys did.
Over the summer, me and the older scouts in my troop, we went to Philmont, New Mexico, or Cimarron, New Mexico. I guess that's a correct city and state. And it's a scout ranch down there called Philmont, where scouts come from all over the world, and they go backpacking in the backcountry. So we had to carry our own tents, food, water, and supplies that we would need for the week. And we go to hike different mountains, and we had to go to different checkpoints to gain more food to carry and things like that. It was a cool
Wow.
experience.
And you hiked the mountain, didn't you? How high was that mountain you guys hiked?
I think the highest one was 9,000 feet, but throughout that whole trek, we did 50 miles in about 5 days.
Wow. Wow. That is, and you said scouts from all over the world.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scouts. And wasn't that the time when there was a storm, a monsoon, or something came, a storm, big rainstorm came during while you were there? Or was that another event?
That was another event.
Okay.
We had decent weather when we were there. I think it only rained once while we were actually
Okay.
backpacking.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Now, talk about there's something else you did. I want you to talk about the cars. What do you call those little cars you
The
race?
Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood Derby. Yeah. Talk about Pinewood Derby.
So the Pinewood Derby is basically you get provided a wooden block, and with that wooden block, you have to sand it down into a car, like a shape of a car, and it can't.
So you make your own little car.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can choose what your car ends up looking like. You just have to sand it down and cut it into the shape you want. And you're basically putting like weights on it. And you can paint it and do everything you want to it. You're trying to have the fastest car that goes down the track. So basically, it goes from a pack, which is like your little troop, it's just like your friends, people who you are actually in scouting with, and then it goes to the regional level, and then the state level, and I think the national level. And the farthest I got was to the state level. And I placed, I think, the highest I got there was 4th in the state doing it, and I think what I needed to go to nationals was like 3rd or something. So I was real close to being a national qualifier.
Okay. But you were one of the first African American young men to get to the state.
Oh yeah, I was one of the few African.
Few have to make it to the state level. That is really quite a time. Quite a time. There's a question that says, "How long does it usually take to make your car?"
Well, maybe about 2 weeks in total, because you're sanding it, and then as you're sanding it, you have to make sure it doesn't go below a certain weight. So you're having to make sure you stay within a certain range. So you have to sand it and make sure you don't sand too much off. And if you did, you got to add some more weight. And it's a very tedious process, especially when you're about 10 years old. So
I do remember those times and those races in the basement of New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church when they were racing those cars. Yes, that was quite a time getting the cars right.
Yes, ma'am.
Quite a time, but you won.
Yes, I did.
You won, which is
thanks to my dad.
Yeah, dad's always there to help. Dad's always there to help. Well, the Boy Scouts has been quite an experience for you, because every year you guys go on some kind of event, don't you? Every summer.
Yeah. Normally every summer at least we do a scout summer camp, which is basically where you go to a summer camp somewhere. We normally stay in Michigan, and there you work on merit badges, which you need to, for your rank advancement. So you go work on merit badges, and you stay in tents for a week. You go to a dining hall. You have classes Monday through Friday. You do events in the evening. It's just like it's like school, just like with a scouting twist to it. And we do it for normally just a week every year, just to make sure we can get our merit badges and stuff, so we can continue with our rank advancements.
Okay. And so the highest rank is the
Eagle
Scout, and
Yeah.
that's what's your project? You have to do a project for Eagle Scout, I understand, right?
Yes. So my project was building bat houses. So I built 2 bat houses and installed them in the North Rosedale Park on Detroit's west side, like I said earlier.
Mhm.
And there, we basically just went there maybe about 2-3 weeks ago and built and installed the bat houses. And then, yeah, that was really it. It just was a nice project for the community to help get rid of the bug population in the neighborhood.
Okay, so bat houses. What made you come up with bat houses?
Well, since I've been playing soccer there my whole life, basically, and while playing soccer there, I've been out there late at night several times, practicing with my friends and just enjoying myself at the park. And because of that, There's been I've been torn by mosquitoes several times throughout my time there.
Okay.
And while being out there late at night, I've noticed that there's a large bat population in that neighborhood.
Really? Now, I never would have thought there were lots of bats in the Rosedale Park neighborhood. Bats. But you guys were out late, so you saw them.
Yeah, we've been out there for Boy Scouts and for soccer stuff late at night. So because of that, I was like, what's a good way to help get rid of the mosquitoes in an environmentally friendly way? Also providing a safe home for the bats. So I built the bat houses.
Wow. And so tell me how you did this. You had to have some math, measuring and all that.
Kind of. I mean, so the process for the Eagle Scout project, you have to do a proposal and you have to get permission from the board you're going to be working with. So I had to do a presentation to the North Rosedale Park board. And after I did that presentation, I had to go out and purchase some materials that I would need. So I went and scouted out some areas where I wanted to install the bat houses. And then after I scouted out those areas, I went and got the materials which would be needed to build and install the bat houses.
And when you say you got the material, what kind of material? I mean, is it wood, flat wood, or
it's wood,
and you have to cut it down?
Yeah, well, we found some that were already like pre-cut kind of, so we just had to like assemble it basically, which made the process a lot easier. But still having to figure out the best to fit our requirements for where we wanted the bat houses to go was the hardest part. Where we're going to install the bat houses.
Where did you install them? So next time I'm driving by there, I'll know where to look at the bat houses.
So since we tried to keep everything environmentally friendly, we were going to install them on trees, but trees weren't nailing into trees isn't really a good way to be environmentally friendly. So because of that, we decided to nail them to telephone poles, wooden telephone poles. So that way it's not hurting the environment at all and it's still a good thing for the bats to use.
Oh, wow. And I mean, they have openings of some kind that the bats fly into?
Yeah, so it's about maybe about 4 or 5 inches wide in total. And then it's about maybe 3 inches wide at the bottom, and it's about a box. So only the bottom's open and the bats flying through the bottom. And that's how they can get in. And then the inside of it's vertical like cuts in the wood, like spaced out maybe about 1/4 of an inch each wide. And that way the bats can hook onto it when they're inside so they won't have to fall down or anything while they're in there.
How about that? I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought of that. We've got a question. It says, what are some of your best experiences in high school?
Some of my best experiences while being in high school have been playing varsity soccer all 4 years of my high school experience, as well as being in the Business Professionals of America program. Playing varsity soccer, I've made All-City. I made All-City last year, and I had a good time meeting a lot of kids, traveling across the state playing soccer, and just playing a sport that I love, and also just being able to run around and get some good exercise. And the Business Professionals of America, that's a program at my school for business students who I am at Cass Tech. And basically, I do interview skills or advanced interview skills, and that I make a resume, a cover letter, and I have a binder that I use, and I go do basically mock interviews and compete against kids from the city of Detroit and then the state and national level. So my sophomore year, I did it, and I placed third in the state, and I went to nationals, which was in Texas. And in Texas, I was top 10 in the nation. And then my junior year, I did advanced interview skills. I was 5th in the state, but I didn't get to go to nationals. And then my senior year, I placed regionally, I think 1st place.
All right. Very good. And that was Business Professionals of America?
Yes.
How many young people are in that group, Business Professionals of America, from your school?
From my school, it's I'd say about 68 to 80.
68. Okay. Wow.
And it's kids from 9th to 12th grade. It's not like it's just for one grade. It's for
the whole school.
Yeah, the whole
9th
school.
through 12th grade.
Yeah.
Wow. And when you went to the statewide competition, that was in Grand Rapids, wasn't it?
Yeah, Grand Rapids.
And there was young people from all over the state in that one.
Yes,
And,
Upper Peninsula and Lower Peninsula.
and that's where you placed third?
Third in the state. I have to place 3rd and 5th in Grand Rapids.
Okay. Now, when you say interview skills, how do they do that? How do they decide who's first, second, third? They put you in a room and talk to you?
So we have a rubric we have to follow, which is like basically good points to make when having an interview. So make sure you shake the person's hands when you start, good eye contact, good posture. Make sure you know what you're talking about. So research you've done on the company and things like that. So making sure you check off all those boxes throughout the interview, that helps make sure you get a better score. And then the first round, there's only just one judge or one person who interviews you. And then the following round, there's 2 people who interview you. And based on their rankings of you, that's how you decide what place you get.
All right. Very good. Very good. We're going to take a short break for a minute, and then we're going to come back and talk some more about what happens in Cass Tech in these 4 years that Grant spent at Cass Tech. And then we're going to talk about what he's going to do after he leaves Cass Tech. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully, there's some other young people who out there listening who are in high school thinking about what they want to do, and they can get some insight as to how they can do it and what other folks have done and so on. So right after this break, we'll see you. We're back. We're back. Thanks again for seeing us on the Community Bell Show on Mondays at 4 o'clock on WVT award-winning WVTC Radio Detroit, stellar award-winning, and hopefully most of you voted for us again so that we could be a 3-time stellar award-winning radio show. I'm sure you did. I'm just sure you did. I'm just sure you did. Before we continue, I want to talk about something else that happened this weekend, and that was on Saturday. Democratic Women's Club of Michigan hosted the First Lady, Jill Biden. It was a great, great, great luncheon at Huntington Place, along with second gentleman, the wife of Vice President Kamala Harris. And that was a wonderful, wonderful luncheon. There was a salute to Debbie Stabenow, our Senator Debbie Stabenow, who's retiring. This will be her last term. It ends in December of this year. So a shout out to Miss Virgie Rollins, who puts on a wonderful, wonderful event every year and has been doing it for many, many years. And so, shout out to her for the great, great Women's Democratic Club luncheon that was held on Saturday at Huntington Place, where we had overflow crowd. It was quite an event, quite an event. Now, go back to my wonderful young grandson, Grant. What will you miss about high school?
I think the convenience of it, being able to wake up and just go to the same place with my friends I've known since like kindergarten, stuff like that, being able to go with them and spend hours with them every day and just being able to talk to them in the hallways and have lunch and things like that. That's all I miss at lunch. I'm gonna miss the lunch food too, because that was pretty good.
It's that interesting. Lunch was good. How about that? For all of those who you always talked about how bad lunch was in high school, the lunch, I'm telling you, at Cass Tech, they had some good lunches out of that cafeteria. They did some good stuff, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my. Was it a challenge staying focused in high school?
I don't think so. No, I mean, because of everything my parents have had me do throughout my life, like DAPS up and soccer and Boy Scouts, Jack and Jill, and several other programs I've been a part
And
of.
Sunday school and church.
Yeah, that too. I've been busy my whole life, and because of that, it's helped me be prepared for times like this where I get busy. I can stay focused and make sure I handle my business, which is my grades and my education.
All right. Speaking of grades and education, how did you do? What were your grade points?
So I'm graduating with a 3.9 grade point average, summa cum laude.
All right.
Yeah, part of National Society.
Top 10% of your class. I love it. That's a wonderful thing. Any young people listening, you too can do this. It's about staying focused, remembering why you are there, and that is to learn. And in the end, be able to decide what school you want to go to, not be told what school you're going to go to, or if you can go to a school. so that is, it's really, really, really very, very important. Very, very important. Talk about the college you've selected.
So in the fall, I'll be attending Florida A&M University, majoring in business or accounting. Yeah.
Okay. Florida A&M has one of the best business schools in the nation. Started by Sybil Mobley, who was the person who put that school on the map. Your auntie, Alicia Bell, went there and under Sybil Mobley and graduated from Florida A&M cum laude with a degree in business. And it is an excellent, excellent business school. And what's really great is that they make sure that those young people all get internships. So if you're at Florida A&M, there's no question you're going to get an internship when the summer comes around. They take good care of the young people there. They are very concerned and very involved in what goes on in their academic lives. So we're excited about you being at Florida A&M. That way we get to come to Florida. Can we come to Florida and see you?
A few times.
just a few? You don't want to see us showing up all the time?
No.
I understand. We'll try not to drop in on you unannounced too often. And be sure to ask for help when you need some help, though. You will, won't you? Yeah. I'm sure you will. You don't play any instruments.
No.
Although we did have it. You did play piano for a while.
Yeah, I did play piano when I was young, but I'm more of the athletic type.
Yeah, yes, you did tell us that. So you decided the piano was not for you, but you did have a wonderful piano reciting by a young lady who teaches piano for my church. Tuesday, she's an excellent piano teacher, and you had a nice recital that we went to, but you chose to play soccer
Yeah, I'm
instead.
the athletic type.
You're more athletic. I got you. I got you. What are you looking forward to in college?
In college, I'm looking forward to networking and meeting new people, being in a new environment. Also, the weather, being from Michigan, Detroit, it's cold here. So, being able to go to Florida where it's hot, real hot all the time, I can meet new people and just get to expand my social network and get to experience new things.
Wow. Warm is good. That's why we have to come visit you because it's warm down there. See, that's what it is. We have to come visit you because it's warm in Florida, and we like warm also. But we'll try not to pop in on you too often.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. So you're gonna be going off to college. What about your friends? Are many of your friends going to college?
Oh, yeah. Most of my people from Cass Tech are all going.
Mhm.
Most of them are staying here mostly, and they're going to Michigan State or Michigan. But most of my friends are going. If they're not going, most of them are going to trade school. Some of my
Okay.
guy friends are going to be taking
Okay.
that route as well.
You were a member of the Midnight Golf group. Talk about Midnight Golf and what that meant to you and how that went.
So Midnight Golf is a program that I was a part of. I was a part of the Monday Wednesday cohort, and it was about back in October, about 2,000, 3,000 students applied from the Metro Detroit area, and they selected 250 kids, I believe. And between those 250 kids, they split us between two cohorts, Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday, 125 kids in each. And in each one of those cohorts, basically, they taught us golf skills, how to play the game of golf, different things related in relation to college, etiquette, and really just anything we needed that would help us become better people. And, yeah. And then in the program, we went on during our spring break in high school, we went on a HBCU college tour where we toured several HBCUs across the East Coast. And
Which ones did you go to?
Winston-Salem State, Virginia State, North Carolina A&T, and several others.
Okay. And the thing I like about it, everybody, is they bought these young people brand new sets of golf clubs. All of them went on that tour, got a brand new set of golf clubs, and they were good golf clubs. I said, wow. Oh, girl, the golf clubs were great. And t-shirts and jackets. And I mean, it's quite an amazing program. They had the midnight golf ending ceremony at Fellowship Chapel 2 weeks ago, and it was quite incredible. Full house. Scholarships were given to young people. Just an incredible graduation ceremony from Midnight Golf. They did a wonderful job. But the brand new set of golf clubs is what really got me for them to play on these private courses they took them to when they were on this trip. It was great. It was great. It was great. There's a question. Oh, that's for you, Grant.
Oh, did my grandmother teach me a little bit about the game? Yeah, she did. I've been playing golf since I probably could walk. I've been rotating in between clubs and things like that since I could walk. So yeah, she's taught me a little bit. When I was younger, I was more committed to golf, and I was playing a lot more. I was practicing a lot more. But as I got older, I stepped away. But since I joined MGP and got some clubs that can fit me now, I have came back to the game.
And you were a caddy for a while too. Talk about your caddy experience.
Yeah, my freshman year of high school, I also caddied on the east side at the Country Club of Detroit and St. Clair Showers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was in Girls Point.
Girls Point.
Mhm.
And yeah, I enjoyed that opportunity, being able to go and network with different people and talk to them about the game of golf while also learning about the game of golf. It was a good experience for me.
What did you learn from playing golf that you think will help you in the future?
What I learned playing golf is just be patient, be slow. It's not really, I'm used to playing games where it's very physical and you have to be, the stronger you are, the bigger you are, the better you are. But in golf, size doesn't matter, strength doesn't matter. It's really just about your time and the effort you put into mastering your craft. So making sure you just take your time and know what you're doing. It's good in golf and in real life, because in real life, if you know what you're doing, you take your time, you can make anything happen.
Right. Wow. If you are Grant Okay, how have you prepared to leave home? Ooh,
Well, since I've been a part of so many programs like Midnight Golf and Boy Scouts and things like that, and also I studied abroad in middle school. So by doing so many programs where I've had to leave home for weeks at a time to prepare me to leave for home because I've been independent. I've had to take care of myself and manage my own responsibilities and things like that since middle school. So because of that, being ready to go to college, I think I'm prepared. I'm properly prepared to go because I've had so many experiences where I've had to depend on myself.
and I didn't even talk about those experiences. Talk about the places you went that helped prepare you for life.
So seventh grade, I went to Spain, and I think it was about 11 or 12 days. I was in Spain, and I studied abroad. So we went to several museums and cooking classes, and we explored the country. And then eighth grade, or the summer going into eighth grade, I went to South Africa, and I traveled across that country as well, and I just explored the whole what they had to offer. Yeah.
That was challenging for your family, wasn't it, to have my seventh and eighth grader going to Spain and South Africa? And I know they weren't by themselves, but it still was a challenge to accept that you were going away to another country without one of us. So we made it through. We figured you'd make it through. I was worried about us making it through. So we made it through. We held on until you got back, and when you got back, you were just fine. And then that's when you told us, but you don't have to worry about me going away to college. I've been overseas. I've been to foreign countries, and I was okay. We said, okay, Grant, we'll accept that. I guess. I guess. So if I was talking to Grant uh, of 2030, which is 6 years from now, oh my lord, what would Grant 6 years from now be talking about, and what would he be doing?
Well, hopefully, I would have obtained my master's degree from Florida A&M. Well, I should have my master's degree from Florida A&M, and I should be a certified CPA, certified public accountant. And hopefully, my plan is to be an investment banker in New York. So take my the master's degree and use that to go work in New York and be an investment banker. And after I retire from doing that, go into accounting and handle that.
Oh, so you're going to retire early because you will have made so much money from being an investment banker. Is that it?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I think, but I can come to New York and visit you too.
Yeah.
That would be a great thing. Did you have your grandma show up in New York? But that's okay. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. So you're leaving Cass Tech. Um, any special things you'll miss about Cass Tech when you leave?
Really, I think the opportunities. Cass Tech had a lot going on. Well, for some people that may be a bad thing, maybe overwhelming. But for me, having so many opportunities, it was a good thing because I could do whatever I really wanted, and I could explore all my interests. Constantly at Cass, they had people coming in and talk to us about what we needed to do and what our future could look like. So because of that, it helped give me a good scope of what my future would end up looking like as long as I took control of it.
Oh, okay, okay. Teachers at Cass. Do you have any special teachers? Any particular teachers that you liked at Cass who
Uh,
helped you a lot?
yeah, I've had some teachers I've liked over the years. I had a civics teacher my sophomore year, and that class was in the heat of, I believe, the January 6th riots on the Capitol or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So because of that, we spent a lot of time talking about that event. And then as that teacher also, he was a black man, one of my few black teachers I've had in my schooling life. So we talked about music as well. And then doing so, it exposed me to new music, and I like music. And it was just a nice environment to have in school. And I've also had several other teachers. My math teacher I had last year, he was real good. That was one of my favorite math teachers I've ever had. I also had a Spanish teacher who she was nice. She came over from Spain, and last year was her first year teaching American students, and
Oh,
so she taught us a lot of things about her culture, and we taught her things about our culture. And then this year I had a business teacher, Dr. James, and he was a real good teacher. He taught me financial literacy and international business, and we had several projects that helped prepare me for my senior year as well as my life after high school.
wow, very good. And interestingly enough, Dr. James went to school with your mother. And you never know who you're going to come across. And Dr. James is a very, very special teacher that was really good with the young people. He did a great job encouraging them and pointing them in a good direction. So we appreciate Dr. James. Yes, but I find it so interesting that you got teachers who went to school with your mother. That's, to me, it's just really quite incredible. Quite incredible. Quite incredible. What else went on in this last few years that you'd like to talk about at school?
Uh, I've been a part of a program called Winning Futures.
Oh, that's right.
And Winning Futures is a mentorship program where basically about 3 or 4 students get paired up to a mentor. And that mentor is really anybody from they can do any career. And I had a mentor named Sammy, and I really like Sammy. He's in the cars. I'm in the cars, so he has a warehouse or I guess a garage out in Plymouth, I believe. And I went out there a few times, and I've seen him in the race cars they have out there, and seen people drive their expensive and beautiful cars and their beautiful garages out there. And a part of the program, we've been on field trips, and we've talked about various topics that have helped us shape us into who we are now.
Oh, great. And that, I think, was really quite an experience. The car piece that just turned out that you like cars, your dad is into cars, and Sammy, your mentor, was into cars, and that made a great combination, I think. Um, and the good part about it, how much you got scholarships from that program too, didn't you? How
Yeah, I
much?
received a $3,000 scholarship from them.
That's a wonderful thing. We like that.
Yes, we do.
We like that. And there are so many programs that young people can get involved in. Parents, you just have to look for them. There are lots of them. Make sure that your young people are busy. Make sure they're doing something, not that you like, but that they like. And if they like it, they'll be all in. They'll be just all in. They'll love it. Um, Grant has done a great job of being involved in a lot of opportunities. And he was my escort at the NAACP dinner last evening, the first one he's ever been to. Tell me what you liked about the NAACP dinner. How was it? What do you think?
Going with you, such a popular woman in the city of Detroit, I met a lot of people, networked a lot. It was nice seeing a lot of powerful people in the city of Detroit who all are the same color as me, being able to see the power that people have when they come together. And also seeing the president of the United States, that was nice. Seeing what goes on when he comes into town and the amount of traffic and Secret Service and police I have for his presence, that was also interesting. And then just watching and seeing how people acted in the whole environment was also real interesting, because people are real unique when people of power are in the room.
I like that. That's very well said. Very well said, Grant. Unique, and that they were. That they were. It was quite a time welcoming the president to the city of Detroit and the NAACP Freedom Fund dinner. It was a great event, and I'm just happy that I was able to share that with Grant, his first dinner, and for him to meet some of the people he had a chance to meet yesterday. Hopefully that will be something that he can take with him to help him through the next 4, 5, 10, 15 years, whatever. So thank you, Grant, for joining me today.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
We
Yes,
appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you all for joining me at the Community Bell Show, 4 o'clock Mondays. Don't forget, we will see you next Monday at 4 o'clock. No, next Monday is a holiday Monday. We won't see. Is next Monday holiday Monday? We won't see you next Monday, but you'll see every one of my shows next Monday. So we'll see you the following Monday, first Monday in June, for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. We'll see you next week, Community Bell Show. Here we are leaving award-winning WVTC Radio Detroit. We're so glad you joined us. Have a great week.
I was following the process of applying, and I was getting rejection letters. That was kind of disheartening, but I just continued to push through. Usually when I got to that question of, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Sometimes I would check yes and provide supporting documentation. I tried to do the expungement process on my own. I felt like I was being sent on a wild goose chase. Ultimately, I finished the process, but as a result of me having more than one felony at the time, I was rejected, and I couldn't apply again for like 36 months. So after that time had passed, I heard about Project Clean Slate. As a result of Project Clean Slate, I've been able to advance my career. It was a seamless process. I want to say like 8 or 9 months in total. Initially, I submitted the online application. Soon after that, I was contacted for fingerprinting. After fingerprinting, I had my hearing with the judge and the prosecuting attorney. After that, I was notified that my record was sealed and I was no longer a convicted felon.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit. You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.